Okay, so let's do a shout out. What's our first step? Plan and prepare instruction. Okay, so we think about this as the foundation, right? This is the foundation of our house. If you don't build it well, the house will eventually come tumbling down. All those other bubbles will not probably be successful if we don't do plan and prepare well. So this is our biggest step. This is where we are deconstructing standards. This is where we are doing student-friendly learning targets, and we are determining what types of targets they are. We are looking at our post-assessment to see where we're going, and we're creating a pre-assessment that we might add some prerequisite skills to. We are making our basic unit core plan for the whole class. We're coming up with scoring agreements, and we are just making sure that we have all of the foundation ready in order to deliver instruction for our core instruction. Okay, so this is the big step. What's our next one? Excellent. Organize and chart data. So once you have those assessment results back and they're scored, you're then bringing your scores and you're sorting them into categories, and you are figuring out where your students lie, and you're selecting one of those categories of students to focus on for the rest of your plan. Okay, and then what happens next? Excellent. We're analyzing and prioritizing needs. Okay, so in this part, we are always going to want to start with our strengths. Okay, what are the students doing well? It's really hard for teachers to go there first, because what they tend to gravitate towards is what are they doing wrong and how can we fix it all. But we are going to be able to fix what they need much more quickly and accurately if we can first look at their strengths and figure out what they can do and make inferences around those. Then we're going to move into their needs. Okay, what is it? Where are their errors? Where are their misconceptions? And why are they doing that? Okay, then we're going to have probably quite a list going, but instead of doing all of those at once, we are going to want to prioritize which one of those needs is going to give us the biggest bang for our buck. What is the most foundational skill that we can work on, so that then when we go to the other errors and misconceptions, it's much easier to fix them. So we're going to prioritize one need. Okay? After we do that, what are we going to do? Select common instructional strategies. Okay? The key word there being common. This is something that all of team members are agreeing to do, okay? And this is like 1 or 2 strategies. This is not a giant list, okay? Teachers can make a giant list of strategies that might work, but then they are going to select 1 or 2 that they are going to carry out commonly. And after they've done that, what's going to happen next? Results indicators. Okay, so here's where we're asking ourselves those 3 questions. What is the teacher going to do? What are the students going to do? And how are we going to determine whether it's working or not? This is where we need to be specific. Okay, we all think that we know these strategies, but when we actually start talking about them, we do them in very different ways in our classroom. So here's where that job-embedded professional development gets to come in, where teachers are sharing their ideas and then they're coming to common agreements about exactly what they're going to do. This essentially should be explicit enough that if a sub was in a teacher's classroom, they would be able to carry out that specific strategy just by looking at the answers to those 3 questions. Okay. Next, we have our super quick step. What is it? Theory of action. This is an if and then statement. If we do this, then this is going to happen. There is an algorithm for this. It's not a random guess, which is usually what, 80%, right? No. Okay, there's an actual way of figuring this out. Okay, and then our last step is, excellent, reflect, monitor, and evaluate results. And although I said this is our last step, this is really not our last step. It comes at the end, but it also comes in between all of the other steps. This is what we are going to be focusing on today. We're going to really be talking about this step because it's a step that we often leave off because we feel pressed for time, but it's a step that is extremely important to our practice. Okay, we need to reflect not only on how we are doing in our cycles in terms of student growth, but how are we doing in terms of the way we function as a team. Okay, so this is a very important step that we're going to focus on. Okay, you guys did a great job with that.